All right, welcome back. Looking at 6.3, we did skip 6.1. We did skip 6.2. Why did we skip all that math? Because it was very difficult. It's a lot of vocabulary that we don't have time for. Because of time constraints, we do want to make sure that you can graph this, look at the new line, make the assumption, make the description of what's happening with this line. Couple things to consider. This function, let's see if it works right here for me. Yes, I want to highlight. Come on, highlight for me. Okay, here we go. Making my moves. There we go. This function, f parentheses x parentheses equals x, will always be graphed for you, okay? You need to make sure when you're using Desmos that it is always there. I'm going to put it in real quick. Fx equals x. And I'm going to do myself a solid favor. And because this is my original graph, I'm going to make sure I turn this color to black. So I know that my colored lines that come out are the ones that are changing, okay? Because this is my parent function. This is the first line. Great, let's rock and roll. And the second one. We are gonna graph the second line, of course. Graphing this is my second line. And we're gonna have a bunch of notes right here. So be ready to rock and roll. Here we go. Let's do it. G of x equals f parentheses x minus 7. Let's do it. G of x parentheses equals f parentheses x minus 7. There it is. We got a brand new spick and span line. Couple things that we can consider. It starts at 7. And it starts at -7 down here. Those are 2 points that I can plot real quick. Starts at 7. Let's use blue because I think it'll look more appealing in blue. Blue, blue. I do want us to get used to plotting all the lines. All the points. We got a point right here, 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 point right here. Can definitely show you real quick the staircase so you can see our slope. It's going up one over, up, over, up, over, up, over, up, over, up, over, up, over. One up, one over. There's our staircase. Let's keep rolling. Up one over, boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Coming downwards across, boom, boom, boom. Sir, do we have to graph every point? Yes, you must graph every point because we want you to. Do it. Make sure you can do it. Connect all our points, forming a nice, beautiful line. And now we have to talk about it. Now, this -7 is inside the parentheses. I'm going to say number, which is also our constant. Number is inside the parentheses.
Attention students, at this time, if you will please call your rides. If you need to have a parent or guardian come and pick you up, please take your cell phones out and call your ride so they will be here at 5 o'clock. Jennifer Palacios, if you're in the building, will you please come down to the front office at this time? Jennifer Palacios, if you're in the building, please come down to the front office at this time. Thank you.
Sorry for the interruption again. Now we got to make the assumption, hey, it's in the parentheses. What is the movement? Now, a lot of my students were real all-stars, and they said, you know what, sir? We're seeing that it went down and also to the right. And I said, you guys are right on it. You guys are doing exactly what I need you to see. Now, let's put into perspective what the parentheses means. Because it's in the parentheses, we're only looking at what it's changing on my x-axis. So because it's changing my x-axis, we're not going to do down for this scenario, we will be doing the right. So this graph moved 7 units right. A lot of notes to consider. Again, let's put a little arrow right here. In the parentheses means left or right. And we're going to talk about that right now in just a second. Okay, let's keep moving. Pause it if you need to. Number 2, leaving that in the first one, deleting the second one. Let's look at it again because I didn't really see it. 3f of x, okay. G parentheses x parentheses equals 3 f parentheses x. Again, I want to be able to see the color. Let me change this real quick. Let's change it to this one. Yeah, let's change it to this one. Looks good to me. Okay. Looking at this graph, they're both going through 0, 0. So I'm going to make that point real quick. Gotta find these points, and I want to show you my elbow's locked in, saying that this is my point and we're doing something like this. So I want you to be able to see it's stuck right here at the intersection of our origin, and it's just getting a little different. Okay, we're going to talk about that word in just a second. Next point. Boom, right there. Missed it a little bit. 1, 3. 1, 3. Keep going. 2, 6. Right there. And we should be able to see this pattern. Up 3, 1 over. Up 3, 1 over. If I go backwards, 1 over, 3 down. 1 over, 3 down. 1 over, oops, I don't want to do that, but let me erase it real quick. 1 over, 3 down. Make our nice line. Boom. And now, like I said, our original line started right here. And our blue line went like this. We didn't move this up or down, left or right. We left it right here. So this movement is kind of going in a higher, more steeper level, okay? So going up from the steepness, changing our slope is called steeper. God, I keep kicking the desk, I'm sorry. Still looking good, still looking good. So, let's talk about it. Changing our slope. Okay. If our slope is greater than 1, then our graph is steeper. Steeper is a very difficult word. We could say we're making money faster. We just see it going at an incline motion. Nothing's moving at the intercept. We're just going from here to here. Write that down, pause it. I'm going to keep moving in 3, 2, 1. Number 3, same type of scenario. Let's keep rolling. G of x equals f of x plus 2. Let's rock and roll. G x equals f 2 x plus 2. Looks great. I like that. I'm going to change the color just because I'm real picky. No worries. I like this one. Of course, leaving the original in the black color. Crossing 2 and -2. Okay, I'm going to plot that real quick. Of course, I'm only plotting it because these are regular numbers. These are whole numbers. I don't like decimals. After that, we could see that it's going up 1 over, up 1 over, going right here, boom, 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 boom. All points that I can plot very nice and easy. Plot them real quick, 1 over, 1 over, 1 over, 1 over, 1 over, 1 over, boom, boom. This is probably the easier ones to graph because the slope is the same, okay? These are also parallel lines. Same slope, parallel lines. We learned that a while back ago. Draw my connection of the points, showing my new movement. Now, let's make these notes before we even talk about the graph. Where is my number? Outside the parentheses. So since it is outside the parentheses, it's not moving my x, it is changing my y. So since it is changing my y, and this is my y, it shifted up. Shifted 2 units up. Okay? We could say it went left only if it was in parentheses, if it's touching the x. But because our 2 is outside the parentheses, I can definitely see that it's changing in the y-axis, which is going up. If it was minus, going down. If it's in the parentheses, then we can make the assumption that it went to the left. Moving on. Sorry, wrong one. Pause if you need to so you can keep going. 3, 2, 1. Number 4. Doing the same thing over and over again. If you want to fast forward, most definitely encourage that. G of x, let me see what it was because I forgot. F, parentheses, half on the inside with x. F, parentheses, 1 divided by 2. X, boom. You know, and this is real complicated because a lot of people can have disagreements about this specific graph, but we're gonna keep rocking and rolling with what the resources are telling us, okay? Same thing, starting at 0, 0, I'm gonna plot this point. Next, I'm gonna plot the next point. Looks like it's boom right here, 2, 1. 2, 1. Gonna keep rocking and rolling. We got boom right here, 4, 2. I got it right on the dot. 4, 2. We can see it went 1 up, 2 over, 1 up, 2 over, 1 up, 2 over, 1 up, 2 over, 1 up, 2 over. Love it. I can keep going down this way. 2 over, 1 down. Making our same stair steps. Making our same stair steps. Looks beautiful. Of course, if you need help graphing lines, reach out to somebody. Maybe somebody can help you. Ask your neighbors, not your actual neighbors at your house or apartment. No, your neighbors in class. Somebody in your class might be getting it. Most definitely ask them. Okay, so what's happening here? Changing our slope. But what's happening now? So the other graph on the previous page, we kept our y-intercept the same at 0, 0. It went like this at a steeper level. Now this one went downwards. So because it's going downwards, the key word there, the star level vocabulary word is less steep. Love it. Pause it. Moving on in 3, 2, 1. Almost done, ladies and gentlemen. We got 2 more problems before even graphing this line. we should be able to make some notes real quick. The -4 is outside the parentheses. If you go back to the previous page, it is changing my y. So if it's changing my y and we're talking about -4, that means it's shifted down. So I already did this before even graphing it, because once I graph it, we'll be able to see it a lot better. Let's do it. G X equals F X -4. There it is. Starting at -4, we can see point, 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 point. So I'm going to start at -4, draw all those points across. -4, point, 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 point. Going to continue downwards, point, 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 point. Dang it, that's okay. And then we're done right there. Last one, moving on in 4, 3, 2, 1. Going super nice and steady. Careful observations before we actually graph it. The 5 is inside the parentheses. This means we are changing our x. So since we are changing our x, I can't tell you if we're going left or right, so I'm just gonna make sure we make a note. It's left or right. And then we'll make the movement right here. Sorry. Making money moves, I'm loving it. So let's graph it. G of x, f parentheses x plus 5. Let's do it. G X equals F parentheses X plus 5. Boom, boom, boom. Where did it go? It's 5. Now it says negative, so now it went to the left. How crazy. I want to talk about that real quick, because if you see right here, I put plus 5. But it went to the left. Isn't that crazy? But if this was a vertical shift, we can see it is a positive 5. So this is where we got to make sure we graph it, and then we see where did it go according to what the function is saying, okay? Went left. Gonna keep going and making announcements. No worries. Let's keep rolling.
Please come to the front of the building to exit the building.
Move.
If you need a bus pass, please
Left.
make sure that you pick one up.
5
Head to the bus.
units.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Wonderful. Made it right on time. Let me graph this real quick at -5. We saw it at 5 right here. All the slopes are the same. Boom, 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 boom. Looks good to me. Connect the points. And we could see again one more time that it did move left. Okay? Very, very cool, ladies and gentlemen. On the talk to talk, all you gotta do is graph this function f of x, then match the according functions to the correct names. Most definitely, okay? If you all need any other assistance, most definitely ask your teachers. You have my email, sramirez4@aldine.isd. Y'all have a terrific evening, terrific day, great morning, wherever you're at right now. And I'll talk to you all soon.